Good evening. Greg here, burning both ends, burning on the back end of Monday, 11:25 p.m. Pacific. It is the 17th of September 2018, already past the halfway point in September. This year is rolling, and so we are 15 weeks left in 2018. So I answered about it this morning. You can catch that link in the description down below. But it's time to ratchet up, kind of close the year out strong. And we got a lot of time left, but it's amazing how, well, at least in my experience, once we kind of get past Halloween, like November becomes a little blur, and all of a sudden it's Thanksgiving. And then, like, if you don't get things done in like the first 10 days of December, it's just, holiday parties and people get busy, and then all of a sudden it's January 1st. So it's kind of funny how that works. So now's a great time, in my opinion, to think about, okay, end of the year, finishing strong. What do I got to do? What do I got to do before we hit that kind of Halloween, Thanksgiving trap that happens? The hat's a little bit, there we go. So I'm definitely thinking about that now. Definitely with Fundraise up, been really crushing that. Just what I'm realizing with that is iCore prepared me so well for that. So iCore was this tech transfer training I did, where all I pretty much did for 8 weeks was learn about business models and figure out who to talk to and set up customer discovery interviews. So I was just cold calling people, cold DMing them on LinkedIn, just reaching out to my network for introductions. And it was amazing how helpful people were, and also how many people on LinkedIn are just so open to just chatting about things, having a short 15-minute conversation. So that worked really well, and I'm using the same exact techniques right now for Fundraise up, and it's working great. So starting to fill the pipeline. So it's a different story. It's a different kind of methodology. Not methodology, but like a different. I don't know. The ammo I had in iCore was pretty bulletproof as far as me using some amazing keywords to get some conversations. Now it's a little different. I am selling something, so it's a little. That's why I said the methodology is a little different. I'd say it's the same process, but just different keywords, a little bit more patience, because it is a sales activity. But at the same time, it's people are really stepping up to help. And I'm starting to see some conversations happening, starting to book some meetings. It's starting to get exciting. And the way I see it is I'm only able to be in the space by being in the space, right? I have to be in the thick of it. I have to be, my concept from iCore was all I can do is put people in the pipeline. That's all I can do, and help lead them through the pipeline. But I can't make them do anything. All right, I can give them the information, I can follow up with them, I can persist, I can try different forms of communication besides just email. I can call them, I can text them, I can DM them, whatever. And so that's my job, and to be persistent with it and to be patient with it, and it worked like a charm. And I see the same exact thing happening with Fundraise Up. It's just all I can do is reach out to companies and talk to people, and follow up, and patient, and persist, and all that stuff. And it's, kind of my mantra is, I want to collect every type of customer interaction, right? The easy ones, the hard ones, the no yeses, the no yeses, the yes on the front end, the yes after 2 years, just all kinds of interactions. I want to see, and one of the coolest thing was last weekend when I did the Solano stroll. So I walked up the entire stroll, talked to as many nonprofits as I could. I had to admit, I got cold feet on the front end. All of a sudden I didn't know what to say, but just pushed through, and I'm really so glad, because and I might have mentioned this, but I'm going to mention it again, because there was one nonprofit in particular that I stopped to talk to. And I had serious reservations, I have to admit, on the front end. I mean, because I have no idea why. Just because of me. But I stopped and I talked to them, and we ended up having a good 15-20 minute discussion. And when I got to my side of the, hey, I think I can help you, it was amazing how attentive and excited they were to listen. And then there was one gentleman in particular that kind of came out and we ended up having a follow-on discussion. So he has his own nonprofit, and he was thrilled to hear what I had to say, like absolutely thrilled. And so we're going to have a call this week with my founder, Peter. And so, but this is like what it's all about. So if I had been scared and given into my fear and not talked to this company, I wouldn't have engaged this one person. We wouldn't have a call on Wednesday. I mean, it's just amazing how this is working. And like I said, I can only experience it by being in it. And I remember the same exact experience during iCore, where I'm trying to get these interviews. There were some times where it seemed like it wasn't really working very well, or I was really dry on on getting some responses, and then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, let me just spend 2 hours just constantly hitting it. Unfortunately, I don't have such a luxury for my side gig on this, because I'm not doing this 9 to 5. But at the same time, there are times when it's like in the evenings, I'm like, I'll put a couple hours in, and I'll really start, see. But the cool thing about iCore is that I would do that from like 10 a.m. to noon. And you get people biting, and all of a sudden you start like seeing some action, and it's kind of gets exciting. So I don't really have that for Fundraise Up, but at the same time, it's just more of a patient game. It just more relies on my patience, which is fine, because that's an area that I'm working on. So very cool. And then 2 other things that I've recently started that are helping the Fundraise Up thing. One is Finn. So Finn is this virtual assistant. So it's like part real person, part AI. I'm seeing how it's going. So they're helping me upload deals to Pipedrive. So I'm giving them voice memos, and then with the voice memos, they're able to pretty much, this company, that company, this, and I tell a little story about how I met them or where I saw them. And so it's working pretty well. I got to like really figure this out, but it seems like, in a 3 to 5 minute voicemail or a voice memo I can send to them, and they'll do about half an hour to 45 minutes of work, which I think is a pretty good return there. And then the other thing I'm doing is, and also on Finn, I want to expand their capabilities. I'm just kind of starting simple, see how it goes. And then the other thing that I'm doing is Fire Builders. So Fire Builders is a kind of accountability platform. So I'm doing this 30-day program where I've given them a chunk of money. And the way it works is that every day I have to send in this Google form where I tell them, what I'm going to accomplish the next day without fail. Like, I'm definitely going to do that. And then if I did my thing for today, and if it's yes, then I get like a 30th of my money back. It's kind of interesting. So we'll see how that goes. So I think I'm in day 3 today, day 2, maybe tomorrow's day. I've day 2 or 3. I'm really early. I've hit all my days so far, but it's really cool because all of my actions are around sending out communications for Fundraise Up. And so I figure when I have my 9 to 5, I can send out about 2 to 3 a day. On the weekends, it's a little bit better. Not better, but I can send out more. And then on the front end of the week, I want to add 8 nonprofits to my pipeline. And so, and the overall 30-day goal, right? So there's a 30-day goal, which is to, try to connect with 30 new nonprofits. And what that means is send out at least 3 communications to each one, 3 different types if I can, right? Email, text, call, or email, call, LinkedIn or something. And, kind of like properly spaced out, over maybe like a 10 to 14 day period of time, you can imagine, right? Not too clumped up, but not too distant, right? There's kind of a sweet spot to hit in there. 3 to 4 days in between each, right? You don't want to hit them like 4 times in 1 week. But at the same time, you don't want it to be like once every month, because now they're not going to remember. But anyway, so experimenting with that, also experimenting with sending out emails to people and kind of like what things to say, because like you don't want to have this ridiculously long email where you explain everything, right? You want to have a few sentences that's the hook and that makes this person want to learn more about what's going on. So experimenting with that. And also getting my pitch down as far as talking to people, and it's great asking for referrals, because it really kind of helps me develop my pitch for the actual product, because in talking to my the people I know, I'm still talking about the product and why it's impactful and the industry, and I'm reading more about the industry, learning some shocking things. Like I was reading one stat about how long it takes websites to load, and I guess people expect them to load in about 2 seconds. And if your site loads in 3 seconds, you lose like a ridiculous amount of people. It's kind of sad that the 1 second really does it. So when you see it, that's just more of and that was specific to nonprofits. That wasn't just general web surfing. And when you look at that, and what that illustrates to me is just how sensitive the industry is. It's very sensitive. It's very brutal. And I heard this from an executive director's mouth. Believe it or not, nonprofit fundraising is a brutal place to be. It's just live or die. There's and it's interesting because like we as a country are only starting to get involved in little ear itch there, only starting to get involved in online donations. Really, it's slowly starting. We only did about 7% in 16. I think we did a little bit better than that in 17. Where every year is a little bit more, but we're in the early stages. So I think that Fundraise Up is positioned nicely to capture this market as it grows. I think what we have is a very nice product. It's very easy to implement, and I really like that. I like that simplicity aspect of it. I think that's a huge selling point. And so anyway, just super psyched for starting to fill the pipeline, starting to see some action, and now I'm just in it for at least the next full year, I'd say. Let's head down, let's grind on this, let's start to just kind of experience every type of customer, right? Collect no's, collect yeses, collect maybes, collect follow-ups, collect relationships and timing. That's what it's all about. And persistence will pay off. So there will be people that I talk to next week that I will close a year from now. That is how it works, right? Infinite game. So I'm excited. I'm super psyched to be playing it. And then just one little piece on my 9 to 5. So tomorrow and Wednesday are the last 2 days of our project management training. So it was last Tuesday and Wednesday, and then this Tuesday, Wednesday. And so really good training. Learning a lot about project management, a lot of details. But that's the world I live in. And also the other thing about project management, it's a very disciplined thing. It's not such a hard thing. It's a discipline thing. Because the individual things are not complicated, and typically the way that it works is every little piece of work product that a project manager puts together is not his or her own thing. It's something that they've created a framework that then they invite other people in the project to help fill in. So it's kind of interesting how the real job of the project manager is more just to kind of influence and work with and corral and motivate and get people to contribute to the project to get it done. So learning a lot of those little details and very important things. Obviously schedules, estimates, work breakdown structures, things like that. So psyched to be in the class. So and this next year and a half should be a really cool year and a half as far as work goes. As far as seeing this out, I did have my contract extended, so I'm good till February 2021, I want to say. I think that's right. So we'll see what happens between now and then. And I think that's what we'll do. So check out the description, lots of cool links down there. This channel is all about my journey as an aspiring entrepreneur. So if you like what you hear, subscribe, ask some questions. If I can be of help, I would love to help. So hit me up. I'll do my best. And I think that's about it. So yeah, check out the description. Some great links down there. The beat in the background, G Money, my alter ego. I write these beats. Check them out on SoundCloud if you like that kind of thing. Other than that, I think it's time to hit the sack here. Getting close to it's 11:39. So rock and roll. So get some rest tonight. It's early in the week. Monday's a great day. Hopefully that you had a really good Monday. Tomorrow, Tuesday, wake up, crush it, light it up, do great things, inspire folks. And I will answer you in the morning. Y'all be good.